Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. Talent Finders would like to welcome entrepreneur, innovator, and founder of Mr. Crumbles, Stacey Sparks. So, welcome, Stacey.
Hi, Karen. Thank you so much for having me on today. I appreciate it.
So, Stacey, I want to firstly congratulate you on all your achievements. Can you share with us how your entrepreneurial journey started?
Oh, okay. I've always been one of those entrepreneurs since I've been a child. It's just
Yes,
in my blood. My parents were entrepreneurs. I'm an entrepreneur, and so is most people in my family. So it came pretty
amazing.
natural to me. Um, but my first real endeavor was a product that was called Lipopalooza. And what it was is I developed a cellulite treatment. It was actually the first on the market. It was a dual treatment. I formulated a herbal and organic capsule that you would take twice a day that kind of eliminated your body of toxins. And then I also developed a cream for the outside for the skin. That was my first real big introduction into the entrepreneurial world, I guess so. And then after that, I started a plus size bridal shop. It was one
Amazing.
of only, yeah, it was only one of five in the entire country at that time. And I quickly became a destination where brides would fly all over the world to get to my shop. And it was a beautiful experience. And then that led me to designing my own plus size gowns, and I had three manufacturers that were making these gowns for me. And then I launched the first plus size bridal shop online in America.
Wow, that's phenomenal.
Thank you. And then I sold that business, and if you can't already tell, I can't sit still. So about a week later, I started another company called Simple Vegan. I formulated a proprietary egg substitute that went into dry mixes like cake mixes, pancake mixes. And for anyone that is plant-based or vegan, you always have to add an egg substitute to baking or really anything that requires eggs.
Yes.
And so I formulated a proprietary egg substitute, and we were doing great. Walmart was interested. I had a lot of big box retailers interested. And then COVID hit. And
Yes.
in the same year, I lost my mom suddenly.
Oh, shame.
And
I'm so sorry.
thank you. It was devastating. And I really lost myself, honestly, during that time.
Yeah.
And and through healing, I guess my husband, I'm so blessed to have such a great family. Um, they really kept me going, even when I didn't want to. And
Yes.
my husband encouraged me to just get up and do something, like get a hobby. And I always loved to bake. And I started baking, and he was taking my baked goods to work, and people were placing orders. And actually, what I didn't realize at that time, it was going to turn into a business. I was doing it for
Wow.
a hobby. I was doing it to help myself heal,
Yes.
and it turned into a business. So
That's
here, this
amazing.
is where I am.
That's
Thank you.
amazing. So you've always had an underlying need to serve the underserved communities. So can you share with
Yes.
us more about this? And did this influence the direction within your own entrepreneurial journey? And what was the inspiration behind you starting Mr. Crumbles?
So my all my entrepreneurial journeys and things that I do on the side are always they start out with something that I see a need for.
Yes,
And
of course.
then I do research and find out that it really is an underserved community. And
Yes.
that puts the passion and the drive behind what I'm trying to build at that time. So with the cellulite treatment, I suffered from cellulite. And then I started to realize that most women do. And it's maybe a part of life for most women, but it's we don't like it. We don't want
No.
it. So I
Nobody likes cellulite.
exactly. So all of my businesses in the plus size bridal industry, I was a bridal consultant on the side. And most of my customers were a size 12 and up. And I soon realized then, when I was helping them in their gowns and the gowns were too small, it was so devastating to women. So they felt defeated. I almost played therapist in the dressing room most of the time. I mean, it was so awful. And I knew I was going to change that. And I did. I set out and I got an investment. My mom and my dad invested in my bridal shop.
Amazing.
And we together built a destination for brides that were over a size 12. Actually, we specialized in gowns 12 to 32W. And at that time, there was no such thing. I had to go straight to designers and work with them and say, look, you're only going up to a size 12. Let's make these happen. And we did. And but I kind of veered off the point. But my point is, even now with Mr. Crumbles, um, I'm vegan for the animals and for the planet, and I do not push that on people. But that's where my plant-based desserts come into play. I do that for the environment, for my love for animals, and for people,
Yes.
and health reasons. So I guess at the core of all of my business journeys, it's been to an underserved or a community that doesn't have their own voice.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's very important because obviously there's a lot of people that actually need somebody to speak or fight on their behalf. So
Yes.
it's
Yes.
amazing.
Thank you.
So I absolutely love the name of your business, Mr. Crumbles. So can you share with us more about how the name came about and give us some background as to what Mr. Crumbles is about? So you've obviously touched on it, but maybe if you could just elaborate for the audience that
Yeah,
doesn't really
sure.
know.
So, to be completely honest with you, when I'm coming up with business names, the
Yes.
thesaurus is my biggest tool. Um, but Mr. Crumbles, actually, I was looking up, synonyms for cookies and sweets and desserts, and but really, I wanted a name that would be nostalgic, have a nostalgic feel around it, something that like people growing up could relate to. And I thought, Mr. Frosty, I don't know if you know who Mr. Frosty is, or Mr. Frosty was an ice cream truck in America that would, he made his name through soft serve ice cream, and
Amazing.
it was very nostalgic. And I wanted my desserts to have that nostalgic feel to them because they are something that I enjoyed when I was a kid. Oatmeal cream pies, Little Debbie, so really the name was more of trying to find something cute and appealing and nostalgic.
Yes.
So
Amazing.
thank you.
So, what have been some of your biggest lessons and learnings within your entrepreneurial journey? And I'm sure you've had multiple, but what really
Oh,
stands out for you?
I think things that I learned too late. Well, not too late. It's never too late, but later than I would have liked.
Like to, yeah.
Um,
I think that's the case for most of us as
yes,
entrepreneurs. If only we knew.
right. And so I hope maybe someone who's watching this it will help them. But find a mentor. Find a mentor who has been where you are, who knows the journey, who can help you, um, maybe help you from making some silly mistakes that are costly or that might slow down your process or your progress. And get a good bookkeeper. I swear, those are the two things that I want to tell every entrepreneur. Get a bookkeeper, get a mentor, someone that'll keep you accountable, someone that will keep you on track, and someone who sees your vision and can help you reach your goals.
So prior to Mr. Crumbles, you had other businesses, which obviously you've spoken about or highlighted earlier in the conversation. So obviously in multiple industries, from health and wellness, cosmetic and bridal industry, which is amazing. So do you believe that this helped you to where you are today? And what do you believe you do better? And can you give us any examples?
So
I know
Well,
that's a lot.
it's funny because I didn't seek out to be in any of those industries. I didn't go to school for any of those things. I come from the school of Google and life, and
Which is probably the best schooling you'll ever get.
I'm telling you, I mean, the knowledge you can get online is crazy. I mean, anywho, so basically, I didn't set out to be in any of those industries. I saw a need and then I learned about that field and I researched the crap out of it and I found a way to navigate it. And that's kind of where I am now. You asked me what I feel I'm best at. I'm definitely going to, well, I don't want to say definitely because I have to tell you, the bridal industry, I miss it. I was very good at it. Um, I loved meeting people, new people every day. I got to interact with so many amazing families and brides and moms, and I don't get that so much with Mr. Crumbles. I'm really kind of, I'm in a bakery, I'm in a commercial kitchen, I'm on the phone a lot. So I guess what I'm best at is the bridal industry, but what I'm really good at is baking and developing recipes. So I don't even know if I answered your question.
No, you did. I mean, that's perfect. Do you have any lessons or examples that you could give us from those experiences which led you to where you are now? Like, is there anything that you think, okay, due to doing this, I'm now doing this better?
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah,
Yes. So
yeah.
let's just go back to Lipopalooza. I mean, I'm talking, this was probably 20 years ago, close to it. Um, I formulate, like I told you, I formulated a capsule and a cream without ever going to college for chemistry or anything. And I feel that that comes from me being just a natural researcher and networker. I called people, I feel like because I started formulating 20 years ago, I can formulate recipes now. I feel that definitely is something that's carried through pretty much through all of my businesses. Even from formulating pills, capsules, to designing gowns, to developing recipes. They're all kind of the same if you really think about it.
Yes. So soon after selling your bridal business in 2018, you started a plant-based baking mix company. So what was
Yeah.
the inspiration for this coming from a very different industry prior? And I know you've sort of highlighted, but like they're two totally opposite sort of
They are. They
spectrums.
are. Honestly, it came from a need that I had with my family. To kind of give you a little bit of backstory, I went vegetarian slash vegan, and I say slash vegan because it was 15 years ago, and veganism wasn't really a thing. I was just kind of fumbling through, but one thing I noticed is when I would go to make a cake, if I wanted to use like a box cake mix, it was filled with chemicals, first of all, filled with things you couldn't pronounce. And I really didn't want to feed that to my family, whether it was vegan chemicals or not. I don't want to feed it to my family.
No.
So it led me to seriously out of the need for desserts at my own house because we like them. I started to see a white space in the market and I'm like, why doesn't this exist? I mean, it's such a simple concept, and yet it still doesn't exist today that I know of. But anywho, came out of a need. I wanted to make cupcakes for my family. I wanted to make pancakes for my family. And with all that, I would have to find an egg substitute to put in the mix to bake it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why isn't it just in there already? So I developed it. It came out of a need.
So what would you say some of your biggest career highlights have been? And maybe you've had multiple, but is there anything that really stands out for you?
Well, I'm one of those people that I feel celebrate the little things for me.
Yes,
Like the
absolutely.
little, I mean, I might get like with my business now, like I have a meeting with Walgreens next week, and that is a big thing. I haven't got a PO yet, but I'm celebrating the journey, the little steps. And I think that's almost more important than celebrating the big achievements. My bridal shop won many awards, number one bridal shop in the city. You know, Mr. Crumbles is very young, so we haven't reached really any real achievements there yet. But and Lipopalooza was used by many celebrities. I was featured in magazines and things like that. So I feel those are pretty big achievements, but I like the small things that get you there. That's what I like to celebrate.
Yeah, absolutely. So, having started Mr. Crumbles, are you planning on expanding into other products? And what is your vision for the company?
Okay, so
And I'm sure you
I
have a big vision.
I have a huge vision. I feel like I want to be the next little Debbie, but plant-based. I want to be a snack cake company for people that, maybe need gluten-free options, vegan options, lower sugar options.
Do you have any plans to expand into any other products
Oh,
besides
yes,
what you're doing now? And what is your
absolutely.
vision for
Absolutely.
the company?
Yeah, so we're always innovating new flavors. The cookie double is a name that I came up with that describes our cookies. Some people know them as whoopie pies. Some people know them as cookie sandwiches, but I like cookie doubles. That's what I name them for my company. We're always developing new flavors, so that's always something that's going to be in development. But there's other desserts that I'm going to roll out as well. So that's why we're Mr. Crumbles Delectables, because I want to be able to keep that door open for other things, whether it's cupcakes or pies or, ice cream, who knows?
Yeah, ice cream would be good. So, having created this product in such a highly competitive industry, can you please share with us how you have gone about identifying your ideal market and what has that process been like for you? And what do you think sets you apart, your product apart from other competitors?
Okay. So I feel what sets us apart is that we're a family-owned company,
Yes,
and
which is so great.
it's me and my son. We're partners. We work very well together. He might disagree. Most days we work very well together. But I feel that what makes us really different is that the love that goes into every single thing that we create. It's literally like we love what we do, and it shows through our product. And we also make sure that all of our ingredients are sustainably sourced. They're clean ingredients. Like, that's basically what I hang my hat on. Is I'm
Yes.
very meticulous about my product. It doesn't go to the public until it's perfect, and it has to pass through me, and that's a very difficult gate to get through. So
Yes.
um so I think that really sets us apart for sure. And I also do want to say that every time someone purchases from us, whether it's online or through one of the platforms, I always reach out personally to our customers, and I introduce myself, and I leave the door open for if they have questions or concerns. I mean, I've done that with all of my businesses, and I will always do that. I don't care how big I get.
Yeah,
um
exactly. And it's also about the quality at the end of the day,
yes,
which is so
absolutely.
important.
That's right, I stand behind my product, and if someone isn't satisfied or they have questions or concerns, it's no questions asked with me. That's the number one priority, is to make my customers happy.
Yeah, exactly. So the ingredients are especially important, which you've obviously touched on in
Yes.
food products. So how do you go about finding the healthiest, cleanest ingredients, and what does that process look like? And if you can share with our audience members for those who don't know, and did something happen within your own health journey that influenced you?
Okay, so the way we source the ingredients is lots of research. I'm sure a lot of your viewers, unless they're vegan, realize that processed sugar, a lot of them are filtered through bone char, animal bone char. So that is my due diligence. I have to make sure I go to the source. I see where we're getting our products. I go to the source. I call them. I ask them, how do they process this? How do they do this? And so it's really, really just my due diligence to follow through and, ask the right questions. And with my manufacturing, I'm actually getting ready to start manufacturing I am making it very clear with them that these are the steps that we have to take to ensure that this is actually a vegan product, not just plant-based, but vegan as well.
Yes.
So I do want to say, I don't know if a lot of people know what the difference is between vegan and plant-based. Do you mind if I just
Yeah,
kind of tell?
please do elaborate because I do think that there might be, people that don't actually know.
Yes. So a lot of people get vegan and plant-based confused, and the real difference is plant-based means it's made of nothing but plants, only
Yes.
plants.
Yeah.
Vegan means it's made of only plants, but also there's no animal byproducts, or it's never been tested on an animal. Basically it's animal friendly. So that's the real difference. And also I do want to say that a lot of people also confuse gluten-free with plant-based as well. Those are also two separate things. So you can be plant-based and still have gluten, or you can be gluten-free plant-based. So those
Amazing.
are little obstacles, or you need to educate your consumers on things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And was there something that influenced you in terms of your own health journey that you chose to go this route for whatever reason? I'm just curious if there was something that influenced you.
Well, my love for animals is my story, but
Yes.
my son, as he was growing up, he was a very picky eater. Literally, he would only eat, and I'm not exaggerating, and I'm sure a lot of moms out there will understand this: macaroni and cheese,
Mm,
mashed potatoes, meat of some sort, chicken nuggets, all that stuff. Basically, the standard American diet is what my son would eat.
mm.
And I worried about him so much. He wouldn't eat anything else. And like I said, I went vegan vegetarian 15 years ago, and I really led by example in my household. I made my own meals. I made my family what they liked. So it wasn't my journey. It was really my son's. He came to me and said he wanted to try veganism, and I was absolutely shocked. It was actually it was his New Year's resolution. He came to me and I was shocked. And so the whole family got on board. And my son now, he used to be a little chunky. I mean, but I always worried about his health because he wasn't eating right and he wouldn't. But he went vegan and he's been vegan ever since. And the kid is so healthy. And I saw a transformation happen before my eyes. He works out. He watches what he eats, and it's not in an unhealthy way. It's a very healthy way.
Yeah, of
So
course.
he was an inspiration for me.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
So that brings me to the final question. So, what are the three key pieces of advice you would give to other entrepreneurs, and what legacy would you like to leave, or how would you like to be remembered? Because some people don't like the word legacies.
Um, Three things that I have learned as an entrepreneur and through all of my journeys is
Yes.
that keep going no matter what life is throwing at you. Because every entrepreneur, I believe, that I've ever known, every entrepreneur has faced so many obstacles, and sometimes you just want to give up. And most people give up right before they hit success and they don't realize it. And I'm speaking from experience, all three of my
Yes.
businesses. What you see on social media and what you see,
In
what
real
you
life.
don't see, yes, what you see in real life are completely two different things. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not sharing the days I'm laying on the ground crying. I'm not sharing that on social media. But
No.
I guess the thing is just keep going. And the second thing is surround yourself with people who support you, who get your vision, who are on maybe the same path as you, or other business owners. You can get Facebook groups. I mean, there's so many support groups out there for entrepreneurs. I mean, it's easy to find one. I think as an entrepreneur, if you live in a household or you surround yourself with people who don't understand what you're trying to do and build, it's harder to do it because you don't have that support. So I say get support, find people who are like you. And the third, and I'm going to drive this home, is get a good bookkeeper.
Yes.
I know I've said it before because I learned the hard way. Those are really, I mean, the three things that's the advice I want to give.
And what legacy would you like to leave, or how would you like to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as the girl who just kept at it. No matter what I put myself into, I give 110%. And I always take time for people who need me, no matter how busy I am. So my legacy, I just want people to remember that I try to be there for them.
That's
And
amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Stacey. So if people would like to connect with you, what are the best platforms to do so?
Instagram, I have Mr. Crumbles Delectables on Instagram, or you can follow me at Stacey Sparks Huff on Instagram. Those are probably the two best platforms.
And LinkedIn as well? Or?
Yes, LinkedIn,
Amazing.
Stacey Sparks Huff. Yes.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. And hopefully we can have you back in the future to see where you are in your journey. And
Thank
thank
you,
you so much for
Karen.
joining us.
Thank you so much. It was a lot of fun. I appreciate it.